All right. This is getting better and better. Now I want to talk about bullying tactics and brainwashing, right? Brainwashing usually gets done by people with badges, parents, a higher being, as they would say. And people look up to them, right? And so they're easier to fool when you have people like that and they want to fool you, right? As they believe that you should be right, right? That's what they whinge about when it comes to the government leaders all the time. But anyway, yeah, doesn't mean you elect something that they tell you to elect. Doesn't mean it's going to be right. Definitely in a system that's already been a failure and got a history of that. Right now, I want to talk about the cigarettes again on this subject and how it works with that. Right now, if you wanted to bully a sector, right, which is what I'm talking about, you're not doing it legitly with science and all that kind of stuff. And you want to propaganda what you want to propaganda, right? You want to put your point of view across. I've talked about this in clips before. What would you do? Well, let me explain to you what I'll do if I wanted to do that. A good theory of doing that, right? And you tell me if that's not right, if I'm not bullying, right? Or trying to get my point of view across to people's brains by giving them my truth, right? Which is what propaganda can be, right? Until you find out your truth, right? Until you see if it's wrong. You don't check up on things, you might just be getting some propaganda, right? There's lots of it going around. So, what's on the picture of the latest cigarette packet, Emma?
Let me just grab it out for you again. It has a picture of a cigarette, kind of bent, shaped like a penis.
It goes, ew.
Smoking causes erectile dysfunction.
Smoking causes erectile dysfunction. So if you smoke, you're a dude that couldn't get it up. Now, I bet you there's plenty of smokers out there that would start laughing like Emma did when she seen that, right? And go, shit, you'll have to tell that to all me kids and shit, right? As I smoked, in fact, I got my kids out when I was having the most smokes, right? Some piss and whatever, right? What a way to shit. See, that's what you call bullying and putting the point across to bully. So if you're a smoker, so people be going around, because they'd see that and hear that, and they'd be going, oh, so if you smoke, oh, I'm not going to date you, your dick must go down. You know what I mean? That's the sort of bullying. That's what they're saying. That's how a bully bullies, to make people look like something. True, Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is not true. You know the biggest form to make a dick go down? Depression. Why do they smoke cigarettes? Perhaps depression. You know what I mean? And so instead of showing the truth, they make them be more depressed because now they're a smoker. How sad is that? How sad that that's the only thing they can do is bully, isn't it? And you see why they would do that. And you go, no, they wouldn't be. No, look, they do it to each other. The government system here does it to each other to get one up. Yeah. And that's what they're doing right now with cigarettes. And I believe that's pretty sad. I believe that the world might see something, definitely other countries that smoke cigarettes, and go, look what they do. Propaganda. Donald Trump, propaganda, hey. You let me know, Donald Trump. You ask Donald Trump this question, and I want to know, because he talks about what I talk about, and you let me know what he's got to say about it. About, is that propaganda, Donald Trump? Their perspective, hey, Donald Trump, of what cigarettes do to people to make it sound as worse as possible. Down erection. And yet they can't even really solve why certain things probably might be happening with cigarettes. They just rather go blame. And it gives you cancer too. It gives you cancer. Looking at that gives you cancer. Being around that gives you cancer. You know what I mean? It's their perspective, their point of view. There's no real study on a lot of these areas yet. And it probably never will be for a long time, as they do a lot of propaganda. Well, that'll slow down study. But anyway, have a good one out there, people, and see you later.